A third consecutive electoral defeat for India's opposition can jeopardize the existence of many regional parties with a national footprint. Now, the 4th of June will decide the future of many of these political parties. So, the question we're asking today is, what is the future of parties with a family name? Are they going to stay here? Are they going to stay relevant? Are these families fighting for their survival? Will they stay in the game? And to discuss more on this, I'm joined by senior journalist KV Prasad and my colleague Brijesh Pandey here at the News9 Plus studio. Gentlemen, welcome to the News9 Plus show. I want to start by asking you this, Brijesh. The BJP pitched the 2024 Lok Sabha elections as family first versus nation first. How has this played out if you look at the numbers that are coming in from the exit polls?
This question suits BJP narrative because and it's also divided in North and South.
Yeah.
Because if you look at North, where the BJP is the dominant party, right from one end to another.
Right.
This narrative suits because, it's Samajwadi Party is not going to do that well in Uttar Pradesh.
Yes.
RJD is not going to do that well in Bihar.
Right.
So BJP is the dominant party, and there they can say that, it's nation first because,
Yes.
people are voting for us and all. Down South, it's a completely different story. DMK is the dominant party, and the BJP there is struggling to make itself relevant in states other than Karnataka, which has traditionally voted for them.
Right.
And you have to also understand that power is divided into two layers. There are two layers to the power which politicians and especially the regional parties enjoy.
Right.
First is the Lok Sabha election, where BJP seems to be the dominant party.
Right.
But given the change in circumstances and all, the assembly election, which for most of the regional parties are the real the power prism.
Yes.
There the family first parties have a decisive edge.
Right.
I mean, right now in Bihar, people say that BJP or the BJP-led NDA might win 29 to 32 seats.
Right.
But when you talk about a regional election, which is assembly election, majority of those people are voting for the BJP say that Tejasvi has emerged as the tallest leader
Yes.
in the entire state of Bihar. So
Right.
the equation completely changes. So I wouldn't say that, what Prime Minister of the BJP is trying to say that it is nation first or family first.
Right.
But yes, in the north of India, in the North Indian states,
Yes.
the family first parties may suffer a setback, but this is not the case in South.
This is, do you believe, KV Prasad, you believe there's a family first divide in the North and South, as Brijesh is saying, that the family parties aren't doing too well in the North, where the BJP is at the strongest. But in the South, where the BJP is comparatively weak, relatively weak, the family parties rule the roast.
Well, interestingly, Sandeep, one party in the south where the BJP has an alliance is another party which also could be characterized as a family party.
Right.
Chandrababu Naidu and
The TDP, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And on the flip side, the other family party again is the YSR Congress of
Yes.
YS Rashtra Reddy's son. Gagan. So it does exist, that kind of a dichotomy or
Yes.
that kind of a divergence do exist in South. Of course, in terms of what you refer to as we are basing our calculations on the basis of the exit poll results.
Yes,
On
yes,
the eve of
absolutely.
tomorrow when
Yeah.
the results will be come. So if we move on that premise,
Right.
on the face of it looks. But
Right.
then the family parties, if you move to another place in North, very close to Delhi is Haryana,
Yes.
where the Janit party of Bhajan Lal's son, Kuldeep Bishnoi, went to the BJP. The Congress came to the BJP and
Yes.
look where is it today. I mean, both the father and son were barely out there in the electoral calculations of BJP.
Right. Right.
So it works differently in different places, but if these are the stray examples, I can just let you out.
Yes. Yes. Prasad, we'll come back to this, the North, but we'll first look at it, Brijesh, at the 4 regions. We've broken down the country into 4 regions, looking at the political parties and their futures, based, of course, on what the exit polls have forecast. Now, in the center, we have the grand old party, the Congress, 4th generation leadership, possibly looking at a 3rd consecutive defeat. Where does that leave the Congress, Brijesh, if the polls
I think
are
if
right?
the poll numbers are correct,
Yes.
and if the figures are going to stand tomorrow when the results are out,
Right.
I think the Congress will face one another out of disintegration.
Right.
There are going to be mass desertion from the Congress party. We
Right.
saw, 1 or 2 people leaving in droves and
Yes.
all already in the
Yes.
Congress party. I think there'll be a serious question mark on the leadership ability of Rahul Gandhi because, you can explain one defeat or 2
Yes.
defeat max, saying that there's a wave which is going on in favor and all.
Right.
But I think the question will come
Yeah.
that whether Rahul Gandhi has it in himself to lead the party from
Yes.
front, or whether he should relinquish the throne for somebody else.
Of course.
Chances of relinquishing the throne for somebody else is next to nil. So I think the Congress will keep on hitting these figures
Right.
till either the party disintegrates or reality dawns on them and they allow somebody else to become or to run the party.
Right. But, in a sense, Brijesh, they already did that when Rahul Gandhi kind of stepped back and allowed the Mallikarjun Kharge to take over
But Sandeep,
as president.
that was a cosmetic change.
Right.
I mean, that was a cosmetic change.
Family retainer.
It's a family retainer. It's the face.
Right.
Like, when we see in many of the ghotalas which we,
Yes.
encounter, the driver has a property worth 250 crore rupees.
Yes.
But that his real asset would be not worth more than 50,000
Or in this
rupees.
case, citing more recent cases, KV Prasad, where the driver takes responsibility for crashing the family car.
Exactly.
When the scion has been
In
at
his
the
reality, he
wheel.
wouldn't be even driving a cycle.
That's correct. So would you see a possibility like that emerging for the Congress? Tomorrow when the results are out, we'll know once and for all, as Brijesh was saying, where that leaves the Congress. But if the numbers aren't, very encouraging, it's still in double digits, where will the Congress be after tomorrow? Will it be a disintegration, further leaders moving away, or maybe the Sharad Pawar formula where a whole lot of other parties could come together with the Congress and consolidate? Which of these two scenarios do you think is going to play out?
When we're talking of possibilities, politics, anything is possible. Let's start with that. Politics is possible, right? That's what we all say. Having said that, the fact is today the Congress has been in a state of drift for the last 2 years before elections.
Right.
After Rahul Gandhi stepped out, there was an interim arrangement which remained interim for a pretty long time till Kharge ji found its place. Of course, as Brijesh puts it, he was selected to do the job by the Congress.
Right.
Rahul Gandhi and the family, right? That being the case. But yes, we must see that 2 elections held under Kharge's leadership.
Right.
Himachal and Telangana, they got results. They didn't get results in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Is also a fact. So there are 3-2 if you break it into type of a series of cricket matches, right? So Congress has lost 3, won 2.
Right.
That being under Kharge's leadership. Now this was a big test. Whether we like it or not, Kharge remains the Congress president whether on paper or not. He is the Indian National Congress president. Number one, the family has a stake. Ironically, 20 years ago, or later on in 1998 rather, when Mrs. Gandhi took over, Sonia Gandhi took over, the whole idea was to step the disintegration of the party.
Right.
Because post-Mara period, when they went into an opposition mold, Sitaram Kesri, the party had just withered away.
Yes, you had a whole lot of new congresses emerging, Tamil Manila Congress and the Congress T.
Everybody had gone away, almost everybody. And then we had a great Karnakaran plan which brought back many of those back to the Congress fold.
Right.
So maybe Sharad Pawar is looking at something like that.
Right.
But let us wait also for the results, because even if the Congress is in double digits, it is not going away. That's
Absolutely.
I think double digit is also like which double digit is like if they go up to 90 or
90
go up to
or
95,
99,
it's still a double digit. But 95 means that the BJP and the NDA will see a sharp decline.
Yes.
We'll
Absolutely.
They started 44 when they were in 2014.
Right.
Or 54 when they were in 2019. Those were 2 double digits. That was at least.
So lower double digits or higher double digits? That we'll know, of course, in a few hours from now. But looking at the other 2 interesting parties in the north, Brijesh, the Akali Dal, the Badals. What happens to the Badals? They're in a quadrilateral contest. Literally every party in the fray is fighting those elections. What will happen to the Badals?
I think, of all the regional parties, Badals are in the biggest soup.
Right.
Because, they are not a regional party. They're not that powerful regional party anymore. Aam Aadmi Party has replaced them.
Yes.
Congress is there fighting its level best. And when it comes to Lok Sabha election, last time we saw, how Congress has got the maximum number of member of parliaments.
Right.
They are neither. They were forced to desert or ditch NDA because of the kind of the sentiments farmer protest was generating. And now the farmers said that we know that the reason why you ditched NDA because at the fag end of the of their entire 5 years.
Yes.
So they are in a classic fixed situation.
Right.
And I think they'll have to literally reinvent themselves to
Right.
be a power to reckon with as far as
Yeah.
Punjab is concerned. I think of all the regional parties we're talking
Right.
about, it is Shiromani Akali Dal, which is
Right.
in a royal fix. But they are not because of what the Prime Minister or the BJP says. They are because of their own, internal inherent contradictions which are staring at them.
Absolutely.
They should have switched. They should have ditched NDA at
Right.
least a year before.
Right.
If they would have wanted
To capitalize
to capitalize
yeah.
and stay relevant
Right.
in the politics. Of
Right, absolutely. KV Prasad, the Abdullahs, the national conference in Jammu and Kashmir, where do you see them after 2024?
I think whether it is the PDP's Mehbooba Mufti or National Conference of Abdullahs, the fact is they are preparing themselves for the next round of assembly elections, because as
Right.
even today the election commissioner did hint that
Yes.
it's going to be held any time now, right? So
Right.
So obviously this is a testing of waters. They kind of get to know. So
Right.
I don't see them going anywhere till the assembly election. And I'd like to add one more party. There
Yes.
are two parties to the list. Brijesh just mentioned of the north. It's neighboring Haryana.
Yes.
The Indian National Lok Dal and the
JJP.
Dynasts party.
Yes.
Both from the same family of the I.N.D. fold. JJP, Janata Party.
Yeah.
Right? Both from the Chotala fold, and both at loggerhead. They fell out of the. One of them was with JJP, was with
Right.
the BJP.
Right.
They came out.
Right.
So these are questions that will be continue to be faced.
Yes.
Because post-election, again, remember Haryana has elections in October, not
Just
4
down,
months
yeah,
down the line,
towards
right?
the end of this year. Absolutely.
Just around the corner.
But
October is Maharashtra, and then we go on to.
yes, Brijesh, so you
Haryana.
mentioned Bihar. Tejaswi is in a strong position, especially with
Oh,
the
absolutely.
assembly elections coming up
Absolutely.
next year. What about the Mulayam Singh Yadav family, Akhilesh Yadav?
See, Akhilesh is also doing very well.
Right.
Akhilesh is also doing very well, and if we go by the exit poll figure, and if he's able to get win 11 Lok Sabha seat,
Right.
that makes him a formidable regional Satatra.
Yes.
And the fact is this, as KV was mentioning also, that Abdullahs are not going anywhere because they are waiting
Right.
for the turn as
Assembly
far as
elections, absolutely.
And you can actually write off regional parties when they start faring badly in the
Right.
assembly election, not
Right.
in the national election.
Right.
So I think right now Samajwadi Party has, if they win 11 seats or 10 seats,
Yes.
that makes them a formidable player as far
Right.
as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. They already have 115 plus MLAs in the current Vidhan Sabha,
Yes.
and them winning 10 or 11 or 12 will make them a very, very formidable player
Right.
as far as UP is concerned.
So now moving to Western India, where you have Maharashtra, two dynastic parties there.
I think Maharashtra
Pawara-
is
Pawar
one
and
party
Thakres.
where everybody will be looking very closely
Right.
to. The reason is, I think that, there may be smaller parties and all, but I think the real litmus test
Yes.
2024 is going to bring to
Right.
would be the state of Maharashtra.
Right.
I mean, you can say minor parties and all, but the point is that, this election will decide once for all who is the real NCP and who is the real Shiv Sena.
Right,
If
absolutely.
Uddhav Thackeray wins 14 seats,
Yes.
he will romp back home with a massive vindication of that he is the real
And he's
Shiv
been
Sena.
betrayed.
And all the desertion,
Yes.
you will see them coming to a screeching halt, and
Right.
the reverse migration happening for the only reason is
Right.
the elections are also down the corner
Absolutely.
at the end of
Just-
the year.
just
So,
a few
people will
months away.
realize that, that leaders will realize,
Right.
or leaders who are deserted will realize that this is the party
Yes.
Maharashtrians have chosen their faith to post to. And
Absolutely.
this is going to
Yes.
work wonderfully for Sharad Pawar as well as Uddhav Thackeray.
Right. And KV Prasad, in the South, the Dynasts of the South, they're very, as Brijesh pointed out, they're very powerful, well-entrenched dynastic parties there. You have the DMK, Stalin, and you have the YSRCP, you have the BRS, the Bharat Rashtra Samiti. How are they going to fare, tomorrow, based on what the exit polls have told you? The BRS is in great trouble. I mean, it looks like it's
I think one party,
in
I'll just
survival.
take 1 second. One party I would like to add Shiromani Akali Dal
Yes.
along with is the BRS.
Is the BRS,
They are
right.
also staring at an existential crisis
Right.
now as we speak.
Which of the parties, KV Prasad, you think, in the South, literally is facing an existential crisis in 2024?
Well, I think it's no longer a party held in the family. I'll add the list to the AIDMK.
Right.
So the AIDMK is really fighting a battle to try and
Right.
regain some ground.
Absolutely.
which
But
they
that's a unique party, KV Prasad. That's
It's a
no
unique-
family.
I say
There's
it's
no
no longer a
leader,
family
there's no
party.
family, there's no nothing.
Yeah, I say it's no longer a family party, but it was a monolith party for
Yes.
a long time.
Yes.
So that's the formation is different. Right now, if you come to BRS,
Yes.
BRS is certainly facing a lot of crisis. After 10 years in government, they're out in wilderness. But if you look at what happened in Telangana elections,
Yes.
the BRS leadership became divided. They went out and contested and put
Right.
the best foot forward. It may
Yes.
not turn into any other seats, or they may be at best, I don't
Yes.
know what can go up tomorrow. So they are not giving up the fight. You see, that is an important component, even though Telangana assembly elections will be 4
Yes.
years away. But that is where, because if you look at Chandrasekhar Rao's graph,
Yes.
I've watched him since he was in TDP, then he was in Congress, TDP,
Right.
and so on. His graph. The man remains so committed to his cause. If you
Yes.
look at the way he actually went around the constitution of TRS, he fought with Chandrababu Naidu, came out, floated
Yes.
the Telangana Rashtra Samiti, and single-mindedly pursued it till he got it.
Yes.
So don't underestimate his determination.
Right.
I mean, I've known him very closely. I've watched his political graph. So that's why I'm saying, while we may say they may not get seats, they may
Yes.
not have representation in the assemblies or in the Lok Sabha, they will still remain a regional force which will continue to
They'll still
try and
remain a
capture
regional
the-
force. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our
Absolutely.
discussion today. But thank you very much for joining us, Brijesh and KV Prasad. We'll know in a few hours from now
Thank you.
whether 2024 is going to be the end of Dynasts. But as Brijesh and Prasad just told us, that it's too early to pronounce epitaphs, especially in politics.